Yes guys, what's going on? Adam McKola here, Full-Time Devils. I'm here with Lars, with empty chair Brian, aka True Geordie. He'll be here soon, but
ASAP.
Couldn't afford that ice sculpture, unfortunately, of Brian.
It melted.
It had melted, just like Manchester United's title hopes today.
Is that what you went to Anfield thinking you had?
Listen, if I don't laugh, I'll cry.
It's a bit boring at the moment, isn't it, with all the controversy in Manchester? It's like, just do something strong, do something good. I'm bored of watching from the outside now.
I thought you were going to say it's a bit boring being a Liverpool fan at the moment.
No, it's absolutely.
You're winning every game.
It's amazing. We're 30 points ahead of Manchester United. That shouldn't happen in the Premier League.
Did you ever, like me, as a Fergie boy growing up,
yeah,
I'd never picture this happening?
No.
It's like a crazy that the tables have turned. Did you ever think you'd see this and so soon?
No, I never thought this would happen. I genuinely thought, yeah, it's going to take us a few. I genuinely thought Klopp would go his entire time at Liverpool not winning the league. I thought the Champions League, brilliant, you've done it. Done now. You've achieved everything a Liverpool manager can achieve. It's a bit like at Manchester United when they thought, Fergie, well, what's the maximum he can do? He's surpassed expectation and suddenly he's changed the club completely.
He has. We were talking about the quality of the league earlier.
Yeah.
Are you surprised about the quality of United?
Yeah, I am. But then you guys have had so many injuries, I feel terrible. Like Rashford, Martial's been out. No one, you've never had your full team at any one time, and so there's no chance to build any synergy. You've got Maguire and De Gea who've clearly got a solid relationship, I want to say, but then you're always bringing a third into that. Luke Shaw was your best centre-back today. Luke Shaw.
So the fact that he's playing centre-back is an issue in itself, but the fact that he's our best centre-back today is another issue as well. And
there's too much.
You're usually quite, like, obviously I'm emotionally involved and invested in Manchester United.
Yeah.
Now as a Liverpool fan, you've been waiting for this day.
Oh no, I haven't though.
But as somebody that's looking at it from the outside, do you see this ending?
I do see
an end in sight for United with this horrible run?
You might sell. That's one. Your kids are going to come good at some point. You are going to buy. I mean, when I saw, that was the thing, was my feeling when I saw you going to sign Fernandes, I was like, oh, Liverpool wanted him a season ago, and therefore you rate him a little bit. He's become the sort of Juan Mata, João Moutinho type that everyone in the Premier League is like, he will help us. And I suddenly thought, okay, well, you got a piece there. You put him next to another mediocre piece and he's going to massively improve him. There's a bit of fear around those kind of players. And once you have, your only problem is fitting your pieces together. And you're trying to force too much youth at the moment as well. That's a real issue.
It is a problem when your squad's so thin and then you get injuries and then you're forced to play youth on top of youth.
I hate to say it as well, it's also the approach that you see change in United fans, and it's like mitigating the humiliation before a game rather than being like, yeah, let's appreciate this. So there's so much, yeah but this is going to happen. There's no enjoyment for the game for you. It's the same as Liverpool fans in the 90s. I grew up as a Liverpool fan in the 90s, and the whole time all I'd hear from older Liverpool fans was like, yeah but he's not good enough, yeah but United are better, yeah but, and then it was like, oh but McManaman's good or Fowler's good, and every now and again you get this sort of mediocre scouser coming through and we'd all be like, yeah, he's the man. And it feels that way with a lot of your youth, like you're investing so much into players, or you did at one point, that now you don't invest in the same way.
But also a lot of it is, and we said this during the kick-off today, that actually that defence is worth £200 million.
Yeah.
Actually, there's not. Yes, you got Brandon Williams out there, and Anthony Martial we're still waiting for his best shares, and there's players
James,
like that.
Yeah.
But you look at Fred and Matic, that's £92 million in midfield.
Yeah, but to be fair, you've overinvested in a lot of that squad there, and in another team where Matic is playing alongside another quality player or someone who complements him well, that's great. If Maguire had come in and had a partner that he'd made a great partnership with, I think that's where the overinvestment in Maguire, I don't quite understand it. I look at it and I think you must have had some numbers guys in that club who crunched the numbers and went, yeah, he's worth 80, let's invest 80. But what they weren't seeing was, it's his centre-back partner, or it's the goalkeeper he's got a relationship with, or any of these things. They were trying to make a Van Dijk type move, and a lot of what Manchester United do right now seems to be not, like, Sir Alex Ferguson was unique in what he did. Manchester United were unique in the Premier League in what they did at that time. Why aren't Manchester United unique anymore? Because they are making homogenous deals globally, and they don't really care about the uniqueness of the club. They care about the marketability of the club. They care about all these other things, and that's not in the fans. That's not on the fans. You can't change the fact that you're marketable or not. It's ridiculous.
That's the frustrating thing for the fans though, because success breeds success, and ultimately if you're successful on the pitch like we're seeing now, Liverpool are closing that gap financially. City are closing that gap through dodgy deals, granted, but they're still closing that gap.
Deals,
those gaps are being closed now, and then ultimately it's going to become a point where actually, you know, we need to be successful to have that.
Here's a real issue as well. At one point you were set up as the standout people in the Premier League who were, if you're not Chelsea or Man City, then you were the guys who'd sort of done it right. You're built with solid commercial deals.
We did it the right way.
You did it what everyone saw as the right way, if any kind of capitalism is the right way.
The Fergie way.
Right, yeah, the Fergie way, which is not denying capitalism, but basically saying, like, you know, let's not completely sell out here, right? And you got so big, and you were the only big ones, that it wasn't about competition anymore. It wasn't. We don't need to compete with Arsenal because Arsenal are saving up for a stadium. We don't need to compete with Liverpool because they'll never truly understand the commercial possibilities that we do. Manchester United now have to change their mentality to be able to compete in a market, and Ed Woodward is not good at competing in a market. He wants to be, and he's probably sold Manchester United as this unique global brand. And if you're competing against other people, that suddenly changes that. And if you look at every other sport in the world where a big franchise is stuck out and then suddenly the playing field has been leveled somehow, they've all needed to learn to compete. New York Knicks, the Lakers, even the Patriots right now, although the Patriots have found a way to struggle through, they're very similar to Manchester United. And when the playing field is leveled in some way, then those big franchises need to find a way to compete and modernise. And in many ways, that shows what Sheffield United are good at this season. They're small, they're agile, they're able to move, they're able to implement tactics very quickly, because it's not about, well, do we do that at the academy level? It's literally like, let's do that at this level, we'll do it. Manchester United is like turning a tank. It's like turning a massive ship.
And and the problem is we've got owners that don't have their own vision.
No.
They have a hope that, we can just carry on. Yeah. And it's going to continue as it was because this is Man United, this is easy, and it's not. They were benefited by the fact that, you know, fucking Fergie was there when they arrived, and now Fergie's gone. We're struggling.
Yeah.
As for the game today though, Van Dijk, Van de Gea, should it have been a goal?
No, I was joking on the live stream that it could have been, but it was a foul on the goalkeeper, and that's fine.
It's soft because
but it's
in football we hate those things, but if it happens to a goalie, we know.
The up and down of it for me was Manchester United missed big chances they should have scored. There was one with Pereira at the back post, should have scored that. Martial one I actually think is a bit more of a half chance than actual chance, because you got Virgil van Dijk, like a huge guy right in front of you. Don't really think that's as much of a chance as other people say, and if Liverpool had had that, we'd go half chance.
With Martial's ability though, and his finishing ability
to place it,
he very rarely snatches a chance.
No,
that's why I feel like that was the chance.
Okay.
Like, because if you're a striker and you have one big opening a game, you're more likely to snatch at it.
But you also have to, for many strikers, they are trained to then take that in that moment. And that's what Mane.
You go to Anfield, you're only going to have one chance, you know what I mean?
And then there were it's basically key decision making. And Manchester United don't have that game management right now. The key decision was, and it also, maybe it's not that you don't have that, it's that you aren't in a position to be able to make those kind of decisions. If you're in a title race, whoever it is who's with Salah as he's running through, just brings him down, it almost doesn't strike him, because it's like, this isn't do or die. Why bother getting sent off? I'm either losing 1-0 or I'm losing 2-0, and we're just leaving.
So we need some bastards.
But that's the point. So you need someone there who's selfish enough to be like, nah, in this situation, I'm not letting this guy beat me. Whereas
just pride, have some pride about
exactly. But these guys were thinking, well, we're going to lose anyway. Don't bring him down. Let him stay on his feet. I don't want to miss 3 games. Because actually, it's more important you keep him in those 3 games, or that he stays in that position in the team for him, than the overall goal of the team.
It kind of reminds me of what Arsene Wenger says about like English, typical British football fans. Like, if you foul someone or you run around sliding into tackles, they'll love you for it. Whereas if you do the sensible thing, or you play football with your brain, or in that position where you think, hold on, me being out for 3 games and just stopping 1 goal is a more sensible, as we just want you to clap.
But think about it this way as well. If Manchester United are competing with Liverpool for the title, they want to stop that 1 goal. There's no reason for them to need to stop that 1 goal. There isn't motivation to go, cool, let's get back for this. Because what's on the line realistically here? Like a top 4, and if you're already losing 1-0, it's like,
we could have won today and not got top 4.
Correct.
So
that's the depressing side of it. Is actually there's compounding factors, and that's what Liverpool found.
Do you think
in the 90s.
Ali will be here next season?
I hope so, because I actually think he's moving the team in the right direction. And if you, like you said, I think it was a poor comparison with Klopp. He went, well, he finished 8th in his first season. Don't compare league positions. Don't compare that. Compare what Klopp did on the pitch. Compare what he's changed about the team. and that has to be better. All I'd say is, and Liverpool were not I'm looking at it from our perspective, we weren't sentimental about Brendan Rodgers. And when a bigger manager, a manager that we thought could take us to the title came along, we went, yeah, cool, thank you. Move on. And maybe it's so often in a fan base, you can't see what everyone else is seeing. They need to look.
See it.
Yeah, exactly. But it's very difficult for a lot of people to see it. If a better manager comes along, and I genuinely think you should have taken Antonio Conte, if a better manager comes along who can just turn them in the right direction, take him. Because
Are you suggesting Poch here?
I'm suggesting Poch. I don't know if he'll go, but I'm also I would have suggested Conte ahead of Poch because look at what he's done at Inter. That you've got to look at that Inter team and go, wow. I mean, look, there's so many mediocre players there. Lukaku he signed, Sanchez he signed. No, Sanchez has been frozen out. He signed Ashley Young. Like, there's so many players where you think, wow, that's a Conte player. That's a Conte player. You need someone like that, and I think there are a lot.
I actually feel as well, when Oli goes, and if he was to go at the end of the season, we brought Poch in, I think we'd look at Oli like, that was where we started to go right. That was where we started to become ourselves again.
He steadied the ship.
Yeah, because I do think he's done some very good. You can not be a great football manager, but still get, the things off the pitch right. You might get your tactics wrong, but what you're doing off the pitch, the vision you have for the club, everything seems to be going in the right direction.
The real issue for you guys is even if he leaves, and I think Sir Alex realised this for a very long time, when he goes, who's keeping them on that path? Or is there just someone who's going to go, cool, right, well that was nice, moving on? Because there doesn't seem to be much synergy between managers, much thought, and it's frustrating to watch.
It is just before we go, Lars, still empty-chaired Bry.
Yeah,
I'll still put him on the thumbnail. Who cares?
Put him in the thumbnail.
He's going to be on the thumb.
Yeah. Good to see you, bro.
The title is done, isn't it?
Nah.
I want to be the first one to have a Liverpool fan say it's done.
Really?
Because none of you are saying it's done.
No, we're not. No.
You've been once bitten, twice shy?
8 times bitten, twice shy. Today they were singing "Now You're Gonna Believe Us," which.
So you've got the little 20-point.
There's a little bit of that swagger. Yeah.
2 games in hand.
It's everyone's doing the maths now, and they're going. They can afford to lose 6 and win 10.
I think that's the point where we've got to now, where we need 10 games. And you're just going to tick them off.
So basically, they're on 64 points at the moment, and it's 94 that wins it for Liverpool. So that's basically 10 games won.
You know what I've liked about this, Lars? You haven't rubbed it in. I think if you knew me for my whole life, and when you were rubbish and United were great, you'd be slaughtering me right now.
No, this has been happening too long. I rubbed it in on the day that Sir Alex Ferguson left, and I got my pleasure on that day because I thought I was fucking Nostradamus, being like, yeah, it's going downhill from here. Now,
did you really believe that though?
Yeah, I remember saying. Did
you genuinely believe?
I was actually filming with Manchester United fans on that day, pre-fan sort of, being involved in that, and I turned to my mate who was a Manchester United fan. I was like, "This is really bad for you." Really bad. This will be an era like the 90s for Liverpool. And you got to say, how many years has it been now?
It's 7. This will be the 7th year since we lifted.
So Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is your Roy Evans, right? Great. He's won a lot of things for the club. We appreciate your service, but you're not doing what we need in order to move on. You need your Gerard Houllier era. Your era when a manager comes in and goes, let's put some structure in, let's do this, and then after that, it becomes cyclical.
We need to just skip that W sharing between that.
Yeah, don't do the share thing. Don't do the embarrassing stuff. But that's what I mean though. You need a manager who's going to come in and do that. That's where your Conte comes in. That's where you can't be.
Bring Fergie back.
Can't be caught.
Anyway, well, it's been a pleasure.
I'm so sorry.
Thank you for having us on the Kickoff. Make sure you check out, I know you're already subscribed to them, but check out the Kickoff. Make sure you subscribe to True Geordie. Thanks to lads for having us. Thanks to Brian for turning up, and see you later.